This is episode number 31 of Real Occult, where we apply numerology and astrology, Chinese, Western, and Vedic, to the material world. In this episode, we are talking about beginning new projects, tasks, activities based on your Aries house, the house that Aries sits in. So, if you're anything like me, sometimes you struggle starting something new. Sometimes you keep putting off something, a task, an activity, chores, work, whatever it is, you keep putting it off until you're forced to do it and it's super, super painful. Today, we are going to discuss how using the house that your Aries sign sits in can help you eliminate that desire to procrastinate so that you're actually excited, you're actually motivated, you can actually tap into that Martian energy because Aries is ruled by Mars. You can actually tap into that energy so that you can get things done. So let's get straight into it. For myself, my Aries is in the 12th house. And so we'll take a step back. If you do not know what house your Aries sign is in, you could type in Vedic, Vedic, Horo, space Horo, into Google, and VedicHoro.com, put in your birth information, and it will give you the houses that each one of your signs and planets are in. And it's a super clean site that gives you a really clean breakdown. So my Aries happens to be in my 12th house. And so the 12th house deals with spirituality. It deals with isolation. It deals with secrets and privacy, being removed from society, loss. It is the last house of the 12 houses. It is where you finish. So your first house is yourself, your physical appearance in your body, your self-image, the vitality that you have, because that's where every experience you have on this planet is rooted in. Every experience you have is experienced through your body. Your first house is your body. Your second house deals with your material assets, finances, income, can be investments, material goods. Third house has to do a lot with writing, thinking, can be siblings, how you communicate, how you debate, intellectual learning, early education, so like kindergarten, elementary school. Fourth house, your emotional foundation, your private life with your family. Fourth house can also be properties in your home, also ancestors and tradition. Your fifth house, fun, joy, romance, sexual pleasures, entertainment, self-expression, sports, athletics. Sixth house would be your daily life, your routines, giving selfless service to others. So it's also illnesses and hardships that you're forced to overcome. Your seventh house is partnerships. Could be business partnerships, marriage partnerships, friendship partnerships, anything out in the open. It also deals with anything that is a like legal agreements, cooperation, business. Eighth house, we get into death and rebirth, transformation, taxes, loans, karma, joint finances, inheritance, things like that. Ninth house, foreign travel, wisdom, teaching, higher education. So that'd be like university, long distance travel. So it'd be going abroad, things like religion and faith. Also things like your deep-seated beliefs. 10th house, mastery, achievement, which tends to go through your career, fame, success, what you become known for, your public image, your reputation. Your 11th house has to do with friendship, your social circle, the goals and achievement of those goals, your lofty aspirations and wishes. Social media is directly tied to your 11th house, big organizations tied to the 11th house. And that brings us right back to the 12th house of spirituality, loss, isolation. So as you move through this cycle 1 through 12 and keep growing, you grow in each one of these areas. And so where your Aries, which is the first sign, sits along this wheel determines the flavor of motivation that actually gets you to move. So like I mentioned before, my Aries sits in my 12th house. So if I have to start something new, because Aries is about starting, if I have to start something, if I have to start it with people watching me, people, like I'm doing something new for the first time and I'm in a crowd, there's no way, unless I literally force myself to do it, that I'm going to have the motivation to do it. In order for me to begin something new, in order for me to start a new project, a new task, because when you start something new, chances are you suck at it. And so for me to suck at something, I need that 12th house support for me to feel comfortable. I need to be alone. I need to be isolated. I need to use my spiritual intuition to guide me. And so exactly opposite would be someone with 7th house, Aries. These people, they love to start something new with another person. They use the other person as the motivator to get them to begin taking action. A 12th house Aries like myself, I need the seclusion and alone time to ponder and go back and forth spiritually within myself, privately, in secrecy, in order for me to be comfortable beginning something new. And so, like I mentioned, Mars rules Aries. So you have Aries in one of these houses and your Mars sign in one of those houses. So my 12th Lord is in my 5th house. So in order for me to begin expressing myself, like when I first started making Instagram videos, because I've been making videos for online marketing videos since like 2017-ish, literally at the library. And I would get so nervous before I'd record one of these videos at the library. I'd literally walk out to the parking lot and record my video in the parking lot to run my ads and do all my ad stuff. Or I would try to rent one of they have like these little whiteboard rooms. I would try to book and rent one of the whiteboard rooms at the library so that I can even though people can see me through the glass door and the glass walls, being in that enclosed room gave me the emotional security, the isolation required for my 12th house to begin expressing my 5th house energy, which is Mars. So take a peek at where your Aries sign sits. And in whatever house that sits in, and you have to start something new, or you're forced to begin something new, or you're attempting to begin something new, Lean into that energy. So if you have a first house Aries, don't let someone else tell you how to start something. Listen to your body. Listen to yourself. Your internal independence. Because that's how you will begin to be supported by the universe. If you have second house Aries with the second house Mars, chances are high that you are not going to be very motivated to start something new if it does not tie into material goods, income, some level of possession, or increasing your perceived self-worth in some way. Those two energies, both in the second house, if you have in Mars, Aries, second house, you're not going to be very motivated to begin things that don't tie into that energy. Not that you can't, just the things that are going to stick and the things that the universe is going to support you in, the endeavors the universe is going to guide you to or towards, and then support you once you begin, are going to be second theme activities. If you're a fourth houser, fourth house Aries, starting something new that brings waves to your emotional security, not likely to happen. Now, we did just have Ketu transition out of Virgo. If you had Ketu in Aries in the fourth house, Ketu is going to be bringing space and creating space, creating waves already that are going to enable you to begin something new with this fourth house energy through high turmoil circumstances. So there are nuances based on your specific transits and the planets that are currently active in these houses and how you begin things during that period specifically. So I just had Virgo is in my fifth house, and I just had Ketu in my fifth house. Ketu brings detachment. And so, like I mentioned before, I have Aries in my 12th, my Mars is in my 5th. So I had for the last 18 months, all of this detachment theme, all of this detached energy from starting something new. I didn't have an intense desire to start something new, even though I really, really wanted to. I just didn't really go forth and put the action required to do it. I would start something, it would turn out even okay, and then I would kind of just let it float away. That Ketu energy impacting my Mars and my Aries, because it was transiting my 5th house, which is where I have my Mars, which is how I begin activities, the way that I like to begin activities. 12th house Aries, Mars in my 5th, 12th house isolation, loneliness, 5th house fun, joy, and pleasure. So when I'm on my own and I have a ton of fun doing this thing, it's very, very easy for me to go wild, create all kinds of stuff, because I have fun doing it. I have pleasure doing it. I'm able to express myself the way that I like, and I have the emotional support with my Aries in the 12th house when I am alone, when I'm listening to my spiritual intuition. If the thing that I'm talking about has to deal with any of these 12th house themes, stuff like karma, stuff like secrecy, stuff like my private life, seclusion. And so take a peek, if you don't know where your signs are currently at VedicHoro.com. Populate your birth chart. See where your Aries sign is. what house it's in, that house and those themes will support you in starting new activities, starting new projects or new endeavors. And once you know that, take a peek at where your Aries, or where your Mars sign sits, which is the ruler of Aries. And that house's themes will give you a more nuanced look into the way you go about starting things. So the circumstances come from the house that Aries sits in. The way you go about doing this activity or task has to do with the house that your Mars sits in. And so if you would like a free pre-recorded video, a free phone call conversation, or a video chat, something like Zoom, Google Meet, where we break down your specific Aries house, Mars house, and how the two of them tie together, book a time slot at realoccult.com. You book your time, and if you get a pre-recorded video, that's when I send it to you. If we do a phone call or video chat, that's the time that it will be completely free. Once again, that's realoccult.com if you would like a personalized walkthrough breakdown for your own chart and your own desires and ambitions. If you have listened this far, I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this, learned something new, picked up something valuable, something that you could try out next time you have to do something new. Or if you're just listening to pass the time. Either way, I genuinely appreciate it, and I will talk to you again soon.